For the dash, I want to do a little modification. Got this empty spot here. Unfortunately, with 83, you got no neutral switch and no high beam. I think it'd be nice to just have a couple LEDs here, just to know when you're in neutral. The high beam's just an extra added on because I got the room to put one in. So I think I might drill a couple holes in this and wire that up. Let's take a look at the schematics. So looking at the schematics, headlight should be pretty easy. Looks like our high beam is blue, so we'll tap into our blue wire and then we'll ground out the other side. That should give us our high beam indicator. The neutral switch, I'm going to have to probably play around with a little bit. Looks like it's a light green with a red stripe, and that is grounding out, so I think I'm going to have to ground it to this. And looking at the circuit, I might have to pull from green with a red stripe or yellow with a red stripe. I'm guessing yellow with a red stripe because usually green is a type of ground. Usually I'll put a multimeter on those and see what I come up with, but I might have to play around with this one a little bit, figure it out. But it doesn't look too bad. I think we can figure this out. Clean that up. Well, that one was already loose. Two of those are kind of loose. Should switch. It'll come off. I'm gonna fiddle with this. So I thought there'd be after I got this out, I used some picks that were easier to use than a screwdriver. I thought there would be a quick disconnect right here. I don't see it, so I'm going to probably have to get into the light actually anyways. So we'll get the guard and the light undone. It'll probably be easier to get in there, see the wires. Alright, well I ran into one problem already. The white and blue wires, I trust that that's off the harness, but for some reason they were flopped or swapped on the actual light bulb. My blue wire went to a white wire and my white wire went to a blue wire, so I'm going to have to double check that when I put it back on. I'm going to have to dig through this rat's nest to find the other light green one I need. I don't know. Nothing's jumping out at me, but I'm gonna dig through that, see what I can find, and hopefully I find the right ones. What is this went to? Yeah, I don't know what this went to. This is already cut off and tapped in. I may have to just get rid of that. That must have been some type of accessory, I bet somebody had on there at one time. Yeah, that's got to go. Okay, I think I found my light green with the red stripe. So I'll tap into that and test that out. I might test out my blue. Let's see if I get that, but I gotta wire up everything, so I'll test it and probably see the final product. This isn't probably very exciting. Watch me play around with wiring. I accidentally popped the breaker on this fuse here. Connects directly to the battery. I might switch these tube style out. Just put in the wedge style. Just for something a little more modern, easier to swap out. These are kind of a pain in the ass. I don't really keep tube fuses, so I'll probably update that. So I figured out why these wires were hooked up wrong, my white and my blue. As I noticed, this headlight was hooked up wrong. These were facing upward. I got a drainage hole here, which should have been a giveaway, but whoever had this before me, or a couple people, whoever had it installed wrong, that's the way it's supposed to go. So now the beam should line up properly and should look better. That's a little better, a little easier to work on in bundles. Got them separated. Now I just got to hook it up. How well this is going to show up. I'm in the dark, so I'll turn it on. Yeah, it's kind of blurred out, but you can see the neutral light there. And if I give it regular light, high beam light comes on. High beam off, high beam on. And if it's switching to gear, neutral goes out, back to neutral first, high beam, neutral off. So everything's working. That video might have been a little too washed out, too tough to tell. Let's try it in the shed. It's the next day. Yeah, so if we turn that on, get our neutral indicator. First it goes off, neutral goes back on. The headlight comes on, high beam, low beam, high beam, off. First, neutral again, high beam, off. So yeah, everything's working good. Wasn't that bad. If you decide to do it, yeah, what did I do here? For your neutral indicator, positive was yellow with a red stripe, and my negative was green, light green. I think that was with a red stripe. And the indicator for your high beam was easy. That was positive was the blue wire, and the negative was just a ground, which I think I used a green. I tapped into a green. So you'll have to make sure. Don't make the mistake I did. I accidentally tried to cut corners and accidentally tied both grounds together, and I was getting all weird circuits completed, and yeah, that set me back a day. So yeah, find different grounds. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. Well, I think I'm going to end this Renewal series here. Still got a few things to do. Obviously the tank needs to be redone on the outside, and I got stickers for that. The front suspension, that's going to have to be addressed and maybe painted. But for the most part, I got it renewed. I've already used it to roll the lawn and do other maintenance around the yard. It's a good little machine. It was a good little find. A little happy with it. I want to say thanks for watching.